What's going on, VIP? We've got, for those of you that have my Pro plan, you know that it's got a macro-based detail system. And so I've been commissioned to inform some details to that system. And so that's what this video is about. And it's going to be a little tedious of a video because I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to work through this live. So there's going to be some slow sections. You might want to put this on a higher speed. And so here we go. I've got a PDF. I took it into Photoshop. I used one of my actions that come with the full library in Photoshop's to turn it into green. And that just makes it easy for me to see. And then somehow I have to conform this to my system, which means I'm probably going to be adding to the system because this is a CMU wall and I don't have any automatic annotations based on CMU walls. And I think I should. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. So I have just, I duplicated an existing stackable detail. The reason for that is that it already has alignment in it, right? So I want to follow that alignment to some extent. And the biggest part of me following that alignment is just placing this detail in a place where the floor is going to end up aligning in the same spot. Now, this particular detail, that doesn't matter as much. So there will be a few things that I kind of adjust on the fly. I want to make sure that I'm reminded of my section cut line weight because it's a custom line weight, which is 65. So I need to make sure that I'm remembering that. And of course I could, copy that to my clipboard history if I wanted to. And then I could probably get rid of the rest of this. This is a macro that we'll be using to test. And so we need to create a new system for that macro. I can get rid of the duplicate sections of that and a few other things here. And then kind of start from scratch. Let's see, is there any bolting that needs to happen? Yeah, there's a few in here, so we could probably use this nail head and conform it to do some of these items here. And then this J-bolt, can we use that? Yeah, so I like to start from something that's already kind of established because it's taking that graphic standard and just bringing it forward, right? So really easy for me to come in here and do this right there, just like that. So that's simple. And then the other thing that I could do is I could send this drawing to the back of the drawing group, right? So if we send this all the way back now, or actually that was all the way front, send it all the way back. Now everything's covering that detail. It doesn't quite work because I've got some fill style on here, so maybe that's a bad idea. So just so I can see, we'll leave that the way it is. And I'll get rid of some of these leader lines. We can see that we've got a grade line here that is also probably got a custom line width, so I'm just going to reuse it. And then my details are going to fit within a 4x4 space. So I kind of want to stay within what I've already got here. So I'm not going to expand the grade quite so extensively as this original detail. I'll kind of come up here, bring that grade up, let's rotate it. So this could use the perpendicular tool, but whatever. It's easy for me to use my hotkeys in that one. And let's see. This bolt head, I don't think is needed. Get rid of that. Let's just grab this guy. We could shift select him and resize him down to this much smaller size here, right? Kind of represents that size. I think it looks like they've got some bolts here that are representing an offset pattern. I don't particularly think that's helpful. I think it's simple enough just to show the cross-section bolts versus the bolts that are supposed to be, beyond that aren't shown. I think that would be fine because the call-out could handle this, right? And also you're bolting it to a bracket. It's pretty self-explanatory that that bracket is going to be, you're going to bolt as many bolts as is in that bracket. So I tend to just utilize my own style and my own line of thinking on some things, right? And then let's just got this J. Let's go ahead and bring that J down here. Match. Extend this to the top of the neighboring one. That looks right. go ahead and establish some fill. Now this fill, I have to look up a key for fills that I already have. So, and that is in my CAD label macro. And so I've got, essentially I've got, now this is an old macro. Everything I do now is a hash system. And so this is not a hash. So in this case, you know, I could update it to my new system, or I could just keep adding to what I've got here. It's probably fine. So let's go 0.12 is going to be the next angle, and this is we're going to establish a new macro, and this is going to be CM, well, let's make it lowercase, CMU wall. How about that, right? So now we've established that it needs to be 0.12 angle. So let's open this up, fill style. We're going to do that same angle hatch. And because it starts as an angle hatch, angle grid, that makes it really easy to come into this angle here and go 0.12, right? And so that's a really subtle angle, okay? And so with that, do we want to do a fill? Yeah, because it's sitting on top of concrete. So make sure that the background is checked so it's a solid fill, so that will show. So this fill should show over the top of that concrete is the point here, okay? So that if I move this PDF over some known amount, let's just say 1,000, and we can take a look at what we've got so far. Yes, in fact, that fill does cover. And then I could even take my object eyedropper or fill style object dropper, blah, blah, blah. Can't speak. And here we go. And so now the point of this is that we should be able to take this guy right here, which is pulling an evaluation here because I probably scripted that wrong on the fly. Why is this making me do a screenshot and I don't want to? There we go. All right, so let's do cat label. I wrote something wrong in here, just in that little tiny script there. Oh, I didn't put a comma. That's what was needed there. So I've got a comma there. Here we go. Let's drag this in. Hopefully, there it goes. It is executing. We just don't have a value for it yet. So how do we get a value for it? Let's go back into the working plan view. I'm going to get into macro designations, and I'm going to have to build out a section for this. And so for this one, this falls within the framing color coding. So here's all the framing color coding. So I'm going to have to drop down. Maybe I'll drop down, might just drop down the insulation section. Let me switch to contain selection mode so it makes it easy for me to select just these items. There we go. We're going to drop those down. And then let's just take this whole section. I'm going to bring this forward. Right? And then we got to change a bunch of things. So this is going to be CMU wall. Okay. And then I need a new custom category or a new note category. So right now we'll leave that checked. We need to create a new note first. So let's go ahead and locate this. So we're going to do a little find in plan. That's going to bring us to this page. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Well, actually, I'm going to copy the framing section. Let's copy this down. And so this framing section, let's talk about the label here. We're going to say CMU wall. And actually, maybe we'll say CMU wall 1. All right. And then all these notes, so we can just control click these notes or shift select these notes. And I'm going to do a new note type, macro dash CM wall 1. That's what that's going to be, right? And from there, let's get some designations. Now let's come back to that detail and let's see what they're actually calling out for that CMU wall. 12-inch CMU solid grout filled. So that's going to be one of my options here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these other ones out. Actually, I really don't even need them. So let's just focus on this one, object information. macro input 1, 12-inch CMU wall build. All right, so that's our macro input 1. There we go. Now, what do we do next? We can close this window out. We can control tab to the next window. We're going to get into that CMU wall section. Oh, I forgot to do fill style. There we go. Bam, right? We need to designate this label. This is going to be CMU. That all we did, wall? Now I can't remember what we called it. That's just in our tech. So what did we call it? It's CAD label. We called it CMU, yeah, underscore wall. CMU underscore wall. Okay, so the next thing is we need to open the schedule up, open the included categories, uncheck the one that's installation floor, and now we get to say instead CMU wall 1. Right? There we go. Now it's listed. The other thing we need to do is get into schedule designator, which is this establishes the base nomenclature for every one of these system items, right? So I need to get in here and go, let's see. So I should have changed that. It should be wall first as a prefix, and that's for sake of organization. So I need to get into the CAD label again, fix something here. So it needs to be wall underscore CMU, and that conforms. There we go. Wall underscore CMU, which means now we got to fix this. And need to fix anything else? Not sure. And then let's open this up. Oh, let's open up schedule designator. And it's a complex system. It really is. Took a while to build it, that's for sure. Let's see. Here we go. So we should be able to just go wall underscore CMU or equals, and then 12-inch CMU wall route build, and then a little quote. It's like that. That should be it. Bam, bam, bam. Let's make sure our label is correct. That's interesting. This is showing Doug Fur, and it should not be. Wall CMU, wall CMU. So is this coming from our note? Good question. Schedule designate CMU. There. CMU 1. Yep. Let's close this. I don't know why that's showing 2x4. It's very interesting. Why is that showing that? I have no idea. Very interesting. Dang it. What is going on there? Yeah, couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. CMU. Get back to schedule designator, because that's where it's giving some definition. All CMU, 12-inch CMU build. It's picking up wall framing for some reason. Did not. Oh, well, we have another issue. So we need to have this condition put into the rest of these conditions, which is another if statement. We're going to copy this if statement, and it's a contained statement. Very interesting. My older macros, not quite as well written, but they still work. So CMU wall. And let's see, if schedule number include 01 and this includes, type includes CMU 1, that should be driving things based on this row object. So if I do row object and open it up, and then let's go look at my stackable D show up correctly. Oh, how strange that this is picking this up. Not picking up this, right? We're picking up this. I don't know where this is coming from. I could use a tool to clear all my macros, cause some problems to initiate again. Let me try that out. So that clears everything. And now we need to reinitiate everything. Okay. That updated this. It's good. If I'm to save this as a template, I really need to make sure that I'm going into all the places that macros are driven from. It's interesting that this is popping an error here. Or why? My far. Troubleshooting. Oh, because all this stuff needs to get opened again. All the globals need to get opened again. It's all to. The only problem with clearing all macros is I also need to, I forgot about this, I also need to get rid of this from text macro management once it's used, because it will continue to mess with things. Figured out a way. Go, that picked it up again. Hopefully this time I can drag that up. Yep. And let's see, project label options. We want to make sure that this is all firing off. Yep. So finally, we are back to a working plan, and I think we now have an updated system. Although the label's not showing, I don't know why. That's very odd, right? I had this problem before in something. Oh, there you go. Now it's showing. Okay, so this seems to be fully functioning now. So now we have an option for a CMU. I'm not sure that you ever want to try this yourself. So, but what you can always do is get me to, if you want to draw the main detail, I can conform it to the system. That's the point there. So we now have a fill style that should be included in my fill style. So I need to grab this and need to come back here and paste it in and make some room for it, really. Right? So I'm going to paste. Actually, here. Go. Center this up. Centrally size that up. Center this up. That. And then it's the dimension in between. 3 point. I'm just going to copy this so that I can up, up. Oops. I need to shift click this possible. Same spacing, but you know what? That's close enough. So that if we take this, throw it up here, there we go. It does in fact work. Very cool. We're updating the system. Now I need to take this fill style, add it to the library, and I'll end up, oops, that's added it as a molding. I do not want it. Need to take this fill style here, add to library, bam. And we're going to call this CMU wall fill style. And there we go. Now it's in my library. I'll get to organize it. Very cool. So we're building, adding to the system. All right, time to keep drawing. So what do we got here? I got just a solid bar here. Let's rotate this and get this in place. And let's just center him up if we can. Something known. Oh, look, I offset that. Concrete. Now I can center this. Size it. Oh. And then we can take this concrete and expand it. Although it looks like this is separate from the I mean, it's going to be separate from the CMU. Just is. So we come and populate this down. Just like so. Just all up. Rinse that up. Break. Over. And we need to get this fill out of our way because that's a funny. So we can take this up to here. I think that's all I will do with this. So I'm actually going to just subtract, but I want to save what I'm subtracting from. So we're going to copy, paste, hold. So I still have that warning dialog. A lot of times I clear that warning dialog, so it's helpful. Now, do want to retain the, there we go. Now this is conform. So then the grade, we're just snap this up to just like so. And what else do we have? We have a bunch of more of these bins and bars. Let's copy, paste, rotate with pasted copy. Go. It's downturn going. This is quite the detail. I would typically need a match line. This is a taller detail than I'm typically drawing. So do a match line, or this is going to be a 4 position. Actually, look, they're showing this as a 4 position. So I think this will be a 4 position. So we probably didn't need to use the stackable. Instead of the stackable detail, we could detail by itself. That's okay. That too. We're looking. Micropile, huh? I like this little continuation, little hookup here. I mean, that's pretty nice. Just to see, how do we do this? This is how we do this. So just extend this down past the apex. Let's switch to my macro zoom CAD detailed dimensions. Let's pop this up. It's actually straight. Just like that. Just like that. And I'll just draw out. Bend it. Using right click alternate. And then we could probably take this if I just switch thing, copy, paste, right? And with the copy paste, I don't know why that didn't. We're resizing it, and obviously it's going to be very long, but that's okay. We're going to just drag this up into place and size it. So we still have kind of that feature, but we're just going to draw this. correct, right? And we've got some kind of dimension. And then these are just, I mean, it'd be nice if this was user configurable, but if this is always going to remain the same, I'll probably just not use the dimension tool. Well, dimension tool, it's going to be cumbersome to do that. Instead, I'll do a polyline with a specific table. So let's draw in a polyline. And before I even do that, I want to go grab that from another detail so that the scale of it's correct. So let me just open this mono slab walk out here. Take this. Now, is this actually a dimension? No, it's a polyline. See? I'm going to copy that. I'll bring it forward here. So this dimension can be anything we want. It's just text in that case. So this says 2'9". Kind of funny. I'm typically using inches in a detail, but that's okay. We can label 2'9". Should be easy enough. Here we go. Let's forward. Put one. See, I would do just, I'm going to do that. That's my, okay. Other 8-inch. And just have to make sure that when we're copying this forward, we need to change this so they don't auto join. So, because otherwise they're seeing it as the same label. Oh no, look at that. They still want to auto join. So we need to offset this just a split hair, right? So 1/64. Still doesn't work. Interesting. There. Now see if you mess with me. If I bring this down. All right. Now it's not. Funny. That's like connect CAD segments, I think, is what's going on there. I'm always going to use sentence case. That way you can just use the uppercase if you want to. There's a rebar designation. We do have some stuff to spec out rebar, but that's okay. Stuff's not going to change all that much. Let's say that's the way we're at 14-inch center. And I'm using arcs always because the reason I use arcs, in case you didn't know, is if you want to change your arrow style or your text style or anything like that, what'll happen is different kerning, different fonts are different heights at times, and so it will knock you off of an off-centered text. So if you're trying to come into the Pro Plan and change all the fonts at once, what happens is that it's a lot easier if I've got an arced arrow because it doesn't, it's ambiguous in a way. That's the reason for that. You didn't know? Should have just extracted the text from the PDF on this. I don't know how to make that little character. Good character to have. I don't even know technically what it's called. Minuscule? Interesting. I always use abbreviations. I don't see any need to type standard abbreviations. text is clearly a lot larger than the scale. Could have probably scaled this up. Still scale this up. See how. Because, well, here's what we could. Still got some CAD. So that's a single size box. Single size. Well, you almost could have fit this in a single box. Not quite. Oh, 4 square box. Square. It's gonna be. Yeah, it's still appropriate for a 4, especially with this size text. I think this is good. This will work out. Yep. All right, let's get some of this other text in there. Should have done this live so you guys could ask me questions. Okay. This thing roundwood post, and I would say C plan or C something else or C detail. I'm not going to say roundwood post again. That's redundant. There's our little copyright like buttons. Professional. Well, quarter inch. There's that carrot. It's 2 inch. C. Yes. V. Oh, come on. HD. Let's go. I think this, whoever drafted first drawing, just likes typing. What's going on? You just like talking, huh? And here's that. I'm a terrible typist nowadays. I used to be better when I was younger. Oh, here's an abbreviation. Look at that. We already have our CMU. Okay. Quite a bit of that. Enough of that. Enough of this. I'm missing this little U-shaped deal here. And this is quite a bit smaller. So, I do for that. And just do the work. And we can We paste about, well, let's not copy paste yet. Let's get this to about just past halfway. And way up there. Didn't mean to do that. Let's use our line to just draw this, and this can subtract this. Oops. What did I do there? That's funny. Cut the PDF. Subtract this. Okay. So that's now centered. Their drawing was not. Big surprise. So this is our bracket. I see what's happening here. Gotcha. So we actually have a little bit of fill in here. Snap this to itself. Which I don't love. Don't love that, actually. Let's not do that. Instead, use a polyline. Bam, just like that. There's the bracket. So the nails need to be in front of the bracket, so we need this drawing order. It's a mistake. I should have drawn that in the correct order, and then we wouldn't have this problem, right? So now look at that. Now that's behind the concrete. Now you got a whole trickle down effect. It's gonna not be fun. So instead, let's bring these forward. And also, and then what do we have here? We have something representing the post space. Oh, that's the knockout. And we have this guy that is this and this. Let's copy paste, rotate him around. So size up. Something. I didn't quite do that graphic right. We're gonna make some fun in case something. Center. Looks like we got some kind of fun little line style. So you can change. Broken line, I guess. Go. We have a break here, but we don't need it, so we can get rid of it. What else am I missing here? I'm going to copy this and bring it over 1,000. Then I'm going to truncate this to just the detail. This over 300. Use it to and see what stuff I'm missing. All right, so we're missing this. Should be in line. Yeah, we're pretty much in line there. We have a draw order thing again. So this guy needs to bring brought forward just one. We have some dots we need to throw in here. We grab those dots. I mean, the easiest way to do this is just grab these dots from something else. Copy paste. We're gonna center it up. all those. So move it. Here. So this is looking alrighty. Another dot that's a little off center here. Yeah, we're getting there. We can copy paste this reflected about here, and there's going to be some additional stuff going on here. Just end up snapping this to itself and then subtracting. Oh, do we have two copies there somehow? Liking that. Our dimensions got all kinds of messed up because it was attached to the PDF. Isn't that funny? So I'm going to pick up this snap and then hold the S key so I pick up no other snaps. Right? So same thing. I'm going to pick up this snap, S key. I know I'm snapped correctly. These guys point to here and up a little. Right. So now we have 9 through. Just copy paste and out. Bam, just like so. It's pretty sharp. Line through here. See if we can center. That's okay. There we go. That's looking pretty good. We can start setting up our cut. The cut's going to be fun. Cut is going to be fun. It's an easy way to make this cut. Well, let's think about it for a second. We're not cutting through the post. We are taking this CMU the bracket, maybe. CMU. Don't want that, whatever that was. What is this? Another, oh, that's why there was two. There were two in there. So we want these. The bracket. This. I think I get this stop there. I'm going to copy paste, bring this over here, and union the whole thing, and don't retain the objects. And then didn't quite union because this, but let's go ahead. Objects, open this up. Fill style set to no pattern. Actually, before we do, let's go solid or pattern. Make sure we clear this angle so we got no issues there. No pattern. Bam. I should have tracked how far I drag this over. Not the end of the world. And then this is going to be 65 line style. Weights, that should look like that, which is starting to look like a really good looking detail, right? I'm going to continue on. I don't think you need to see anything else here. I think the rest of this is me just detailing my arrows and call outs and really getting it positioned well. And when I'm done, it should be a very beautiful, it's already looking fantastic. So looking forward to seeing this one done. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching this far, if you made it this far.